Year of the Villain, Black Adam issue 1 sees the people of Khandaq praying as their city burns thanks to the battle between Black Adam and the infected Shazam. A day earlier, two of Black Adam's generals arrive at his temple, quelling their talk about freedom as they enter, telling Adam that Lex Luthor lives and he has liquidated his assets and is handing out it to powered criminals around the world. On top of that, Leviathan is under new leadership. The generals talk about their intel Adam requested on Shazam, since he has been acting erratically since his altercation with Batman and Superman, and is heading to Adam right now. Adam of course already knows this, asking the generals where they think his power comes from, wondering if it's from him or the soil of Khandaq or perhaps the gods or the masses. He confronts the general about their talk of freedom, having overheard them telling the scared men that he freed Khandaq, and he wonders if he becomes the next tyrant if the people are getting restless and want freedoms. He excuses the generals since Lex was right and the world is changing since his people want coffee houses on every corner and to become Americanized, but Adam asks them what the price of this illusion is. He says that freedom isn't free, telling the general to amass their armies and explain freedom to the 15-year-old weapon of mass destruction heading their way. The men say that their armies are evacuating the city, and Adam is pleased since today they fight to protect the ultimate freedom, and in return he will protect them. The infected Shazam arrives, yelling at the people that their oil money does not come back to them, and the people think that he's acting like a typical American, as he says that he is there to set them free. The army soon arrive as Adam's temple shakes thanks to the battle outside. He knows it's time, so along with his priests, he leaves as the army give everything to Shazam, but nothing works on him, and the infected hero tells them as much. He calls Black Adam a chicken for not facing him, turning on the men, but Adam arrives, slamming the villain through a temple before throwing him from the city. He tells his men to take the wounded away, but the remaining men to concentrate their fire on the American at every opportunity they get. The soldiers say that their weapons have no effect on him, but Adam says that if he falls, they are Khandaq's last line of defense, and if they fall, Khandaq will need to be abandoned. The city is hit by lightning as Shazam returns, kicking Adam around as Adam says that he's just a child playing a video game. Adam fights back, trying to get through to Billy and tell him to fight the infection. Shazam says that he isn't infected, but waking up, and when Khandaq wakes up tomorrow, Adam will be dead and he will be their new king. Shazam wants to turn this into a video game like Adam said, so he blasts Adam, telling him he's got some power-ups. Adam flies away, drawing the villain away from the city while continuing to try and get through to Billy. Shazam catches Adam's leg, snapping it and telling him Khandaq belongs to him now. Adam says that Khandaq belongs to the people, but Shazam tells him on his best day Khandaq is a third world country. The army continues to pour fire onto Shazam, who tells the defeated Adam that he would let these ants with guns die to protect Khandaq. The priests soon arrive and tell the men to stop firing, instead to take up arms and pray. Adam slams into the ground and Shazam says that Adam's people would rather pray to something unseen than make something of themselves. Meanwhile, he would like to give them freedoms like basic income, since that would be what true power looks like. Shazam begins listing all the things that he would be adding to Khandaq to make it better, but Adam calls him a petulant child thinking of style over substance, thanks to seeing the world incorrectly. Shazam is angered, kicking Adam around, telling him not to call him petulant. Shazam says that despite Adam's various powers, he still beat him and he was an idiot to think that he could go up against the Shazam. Shazam says his magic word, changing back and forth between Billy, saying it's just a word and he's the one who gives it meaning. Adam gets up, saying that he's seen the world through the eyes of a boy, but he sees the forces of reality like how his people are currently praying to Amun-Ra, a true power of the universe. He reveals this was a trap since his people's prayers draw power from the center of the sun. Lightning hits Shazam, pinning him to the ground and reverting him to Billy Batson, who cannot talk as Adam says that he's just a child, and while he believes in nothing but himself, himself, he is trapped by the power of prayer. Adam tells his people that he sees the power that they have given the land and he is nothing without them. Approaching Billy, he tells the boy Lex and Leviathan will make a mess of the world, but he knows Khandaq doesn't need Billy or Luther or Leviathan, and if the boy comes back, he will be killed. Adam has his people free Billy, telling him to crawl back to his people, since that will be more than enough of a message. Billy transforms, taking off from Khandaq, and later, Adam visits his generals in the hospital, telling him that he was wrong. He isn't a god, he's just a leader of men, and sometimes a leader needs to see the power of his people, since true power comes from the masses, and he is merely their steward. He tells his general to rest, since there will be other days intruders come to Khandaq, but next time they will have to reckon with the people. Year of the Villain, Black Adam issue 1 was quite the letdown in what has been a pretty decent lineup of one-shot books to spin out of this quite needless Year of the Villain event. Adam here was written wildly out of character, especially when compared to the recent Shazam issues where he's actively trying to kill Billy and Shazam. There's also a very thin talk about where this is placed in the timeline, with Leviathan and Lex's stuff mentioned, and it has literally nothing to do with that. That had nothing to do with this issue and didn't need to be in here. This could have just been like a one-shot Black Adam issue. That's it. Adam also doesn't learn anything, but the book tries to posit that he does. It's a strange issue that really should have been about Lex approaching the dictator, but him waving him off, saying that he has everything he needs because of the people, not him learning that the people give him power, even though he already knew that. It's very strange. I'm going to give this issue a 2 out of 10.